Hey there, Kingdom Kids. Miss Courtney here, and I want to present to you your summer learning series. Now, granted, the summer's almost over because school's getting ready to start, but we are taking some more time to make sure that we work on our lessons and develop more engaging lessons for you all, since we have to remain virtual for right now. So here is your first story, and you may know it very well, and it's about a man named Joshua and, of course, the Battle of Jericho. All right, so I want to put some thoughts in your head before you watch the video, and then after you watch the video, you should be able to answer these questions or put thoughts or your thoughts to these questions that I'm giving you beforehand. So if you want to take a second to write them down, or even record me on another device just speaking, and then you can come back and answer these questions after you watch the video. All right, so with Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, also there's I think this is the lesson with the really cool song that I'm attaching to it as well, because you know me, I'm always looking for music or something and some type of dance. Y'all know me. So anyway, first things first, have you ever done something that you know is right, but you're scared to do it? Think about it, and then have a conversation about it. All right, number 2. So you'll find out how many days did the people of Israel march around the city one time. How many days did they do that? All right. Next, how many priests were told to blow ram's horns? How many priests? Number 4, on the 7th day, how many times did the people march around the city? Number 5, after the priest blew a loud blast and the men shouted, what happened? And you may already know that answer. And lastly, is just a fill in the blank. And this is from the video, so make sure you're listening carefully. Joshua never blanked God. He trusted God. Joshua never what? God. He trusted God. And that's from the video, so make sure you're listening. All right, so those are your thoughts for the start of this lesson. And so have a great time, watch the video, learn about our man Joshua, and have fun even with the song afterwards. All right, and I will see you for the next lesson. Bye.
Have you ever had a song stuck in your head? Well, you're about to have that happen to you now. Here are the Superbook Show dancers with Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho.
Jericho, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. You can talk about the men of Gideon, you can talk about the men of Saul, but there's none like good old Joshua and the battle of Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Right up to the walls of Jericho, with spear in hand, go, go, then ram horns, Joshua cried, 'cause the battle is in my hand. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Then the man ran sheep
stuck in your head, right? I did warn you. Click the links for more of our Superbook dancers. And there is a link below for their DVD. Now, I'm off to find a city I can conquer. His word is forever alive. Miriam fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Miriam fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came.
God's story, Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. So part of God's story is about a guy named Joshua, and it goes like this. 40 years after God led his family out of Egypt and through the desert, he chose Joshua to lead them to an amazing home he had promised them called Canaan. Now, Canaan wasn't their home yet. Not really. See, people lived there already, in a big city called Jericho. They had heard how God parted the Red Sea and rained down food from heaven for his family. They had heard how God had led his family with a cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. And they realized that if God wanted his family to move into Canaan, he would do something remarkable to get them there. So they were ready for an epic fight. In the past, that had really scared God's family. But here's the thing. God knew Jericho looked scary for his family. So when it was time to go, he reminded Joshua that he was in control. God said, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Joshua might have felt afraid, but he chose to be strong and courageous. Have you ever done something you know is right, even though you were scared? Anyway, for a while, God's family camped out, waiting to go in, wondering how to get through Jericho's walls. Then one night, Joshua looked up and saw a man standing in front of him. He was holding a sword and looked ready for battle, but Joshua didn't recognize him. He asked, "Are you on our side or our enemy's side?" The man said, "Neither. I'm on the Lord's side." At that moment, Joshua realized that it was God appearing as a soldier. He fell on his face and worshiped him. God was definitely with them and would lead the Israelites into Jericho. Well, after that, God told Joshua how to get through Jericho's walls. Here's what he told Joshua to do. March around the city once every day for 6 days. Have 7 priests get trumpets made out of ram's horns and carry them. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times. The priests should blow the trumpets during the march. When they blow a long blast, all the men should shout. Then the walls will fall. Joshua might have wondered how walking and yelling would make walls fall, but he didn't question God. He trusted God, so he obeyed. And guess what? At the last trumpet blast, the walls fell, just like God said they would. God promised not to leave his family, and he didn't. He helped them get through an impossible wall and move into their new and beautiful home. And through Joshua, God would continue to help his family. In fact, Joshua finally became so sure of God's power that he was able to help others to be strong and courageous, just like God had helped him. And that's the story of Joshua. But you want to know the best part? God appeared as a man to show Joshua that he would fight for his family and bring them safely to their new home. Joshua had nothing to fear. And later, Jesus came to earth as a man to fight for us by taking our punishment for sin so that one day we can live with him in a perfect new home, which means we have nothing to fear. Like Joshua, we can be strong and courageous. And that's a part of God's story.